everyone, here I am again, old Black Bart, back from his hunting trip to Montana. So I'm going to give you just a few observations. Of course, one of the biggest shocks we had was when we got to the airport and we're flying United, and they proceeded to charge us $25 for the first bag and $15 for the second bag for both my wife and I. So before we could even get on the plane, we had lost another 80 bucks. And when we got on the plane, they wouldn't serve you a meal except $9 for something that wasn't as good as you used to get for nothing. So that's United Airlines. Southwest Airlines gives you 2 bags free. We went through security fairly easily. They've got this stuff down now. You can go through a lot faster. They check your guns a lot easier. Not too bad. Modern computerization. You book your flights. You can go out into this little automatic screen and they give you your boarding passes and all the rest of this crap. They're getting pretty good at it. Of course, when we got to Seattle, they simply canceled our next leg of our flight without any warning and said, "Too bad. We're not going to put you up overnight, and we may book you on a flight in the morning," which meant we would have missed our connections in Spokane. Personally, I'm not inclined to fly with United anymore. An interesting thing was, even though we are in a recession, the airports were full, and so were the planes. Packed, not an empty seat among them. And they bounce you all around, airport to airport, flight to flight, just so they can book them all. Altogether, a very fascinating experience. On the way back, they wanted to charge us $125 because one of my bags was 8 pounds overweight. We shifted it all around, of course. 99% of the people who are flying, it seems, are white folks. I don't know what it is about African Americans. They just don't seem to travel or move around the country or go places like us, like the white folks do. I don't really know why that is. But they were all kinds on these planes and every airport. Jam-packed. What gets me, of course, is aviation fuel has dropped 50% or more. So why haven't the airlines gone back to free baggage and free meals? Because they're sticking it to the flying public. That's why. Out there in Idaho, gas is under $2 a gallon now. Believe that? Under $2 a gallon. It's much more expensive here in New York because of taxes. We were going out to Montana to hunt elk. Personally, friends, we got ripped off. Nice outfitter, nice lodge. There's no elk in Montana. I got to blame myself for being so stupid because I've hunted out there in the Bob Marshall wilderness and there were no elk there, and I thought maybe this would be a little different. But it isn't any different. So I'll give you all some advice if you want to go on an outfitting elk trip. Don't go to Montana. Everyone in Montana can get an elk license. And they all drive around the roads looking for elk. Very steep, very difficult country to hunt. Neither my wife nor I saw a single elk on this entire trip. Neither did several of the other folks on this trip. So my advice to you, don't take an elk hunting trip to Montana. It's a waste of your money. On our last day, we were up high in the mountain in the snow. We ran across a set of wolf prints. They're huge, like that. Family, we figured 2, 3 wolf up there. And that's another problem about Montana. They let all those wolves go, you know, down there in Yellowstone Park and in Idaho to get the balance. And now they've got over 150 wolf packs wandering around these mountains chasing wolf and deer and wiping out a century of conservation, bringing back species like the elk and the mule deer and the white-tailed deer. The wolves are wiping them out. But you can't hunt them, you can't control them, because the bunny huggers just want to know that the wolves are out there in the wilderness. But the wolves are destroying one of the great resources of the West. Their beautiful animal herds, conserved by hunters. Same thing's happening with the grizzly bears. Can't do anything about the grizzly bears, you know, they're so cute. But there's so many grizzly bears now. They're slaughtering the elk herds. These bunny huggers haven't got a clue. So I'm going to try and go on another elk hunt next year, the year after, this time in a special place in Wyoming. But once more, folks, I ain't going back to Montana. All the guys in the group, they're all worried about what Obama's going to do in his administration and what's going to become of our country. They're all worried about his efforts to restrict hunting and firearms and ammunition. They can't believe the American people would vote for someone like Barack Obama. And like me, a lot of them blame the Republican Party for being so stupid. That's it for today. I'm back. I'm stiff. I'm sore. I got cramps. Spent some quality time with my wife. Now I got to get back to work and get some things done. This is Old Black Bart. I'll see you tomorrow.